Hello students, this video content is the first part of the chapter Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution of class 9 Social Science History. In this chapter, we will discuss the age of social change after the French Revolution, views of liberals, radicals, and conservatives, industrial society and social change, the coming of socialism in Europe, as well as support for socialism in Europe also. And in the next 4 videos, we will discuss about the Russian Revolution. First of all, the causes of the Russian Revolution: economic, social, political, and revolution of 1905, revolution of February 1917, and revolution of October 1917, that is also known as Bolshevik Revolution, and the role of Lenin, as well as what is the relation between the socialism and the Russian Revolution. We will also discuss about it. Actually, there is a direct connection between the socialism and the Russian Revolution. And finally, after the death of Lenin, Stalin became the head of the Russia. And Stalin also introduced many measures for the development, for the progress of the Russia, in which 5 years plans and collectivization is important one. And in the last, we will discuss about the influence of the Russian Revolution, impact of the Russian Revolution, first in the world and second within the Russia. In the previous chapter, you read about the powerful ideas of freedom and equality that circulated in Europe after the French Revolution. In short, you keep in mind the period after French Revolution is referred to as a period of social change. Before the 18th century, society was broadly divided into states and orders, and it was the aristocracy and church which controlled economic and social power, that you read in detail in the French Revolution. But after that, this began to change, and the developments in the colonies in turn reshaped these ideas of societal change. But responses varied from those who accepted that some change was necessary but wished for a gradual shift, to those who wanted to restructure society radically. Among them were liberals, radicals, and conservatives. The first, views of liberals or ideology of the liberals, how they want to change the society. Liberals typically believe that government is necessary to protect individuals from being harmed by others, but they also recognize that government itself can pose a threat to liberty. The problem then is to devise a system that gives government the power necessary to protect individual liberty, but also prevents those who govern from abusing that power. As in previous chapter, you read about the John Locke. John Locke argued that each man has a natural right to life liberty and property, and government must not violate these rights. So liberals actually wanted a nation which tolerated all religions. They have a secular minded people. Actually, in Europe, no doubt there was only Christian religion, but within the Christian religion, there are many sects, many orders, many churches. So, liberals wanted that nation cannot discriminate any religion nor provide any special facilities to any religion. Right? They also opposed the uncontrolled power of the dynastic rulers. Liberals also wanted to safeguard the rights of individuals against governments. They were in favor of a representative elected parliamentary government, and also they wanted a well-trained and independent judiciary. As you know, independent judiciary is very important for protection of the individual rights in any country. But liberals were not Democrats. This is the important point. The views of the liberals were very good, but after all, they were not Democrats. So how you can prove in the examination that they were not Democrats? So number one, actually liberals did not believe in universal adult franchise. As you know, universal adult franchise means everyone have the right to vote, whether it is a rich or poor, black or white, literate or illiterate. Just like in India, everyone who have attained the age of 18 years have the right to vote. But liberals' view regarding the voting right, they only felt that the persons who have the property, they should have the right to vote. It means liberals do not want to give voting right to the poor. And also they did not in favor of giving the voting right to the women. These points prove that the liberals were not Democrats. Radicals were another group of people who wanted a change in the society. As you know, the word radical derived from the Latin word root, and historically, political use of the term referred exclusively to a form of progressive electoral reformism known as radicalism that had developed in Europe during the 18th and 19th centuries. They wanted a nation in which government was based on the majority of a country's population. In this way, you see that there were different views of the liberals. Liberals actually wanted a elective government, elected parliamentary government, but it was elected by the propertied person. But radicals wanted a nation in which government was based on the majority of a country's population. And it is possible only when all the persons have the right to vote. They opposed the privileges of great landowners and wealthy factory owners. Actually, after the French revolutions, now the landowners and the factory owners become very powerful, and frequently they exploited the workers and the common peoples. That is why radicals opposed the privileges of landowners and wealthy factory owners. They were not against the existence of private property. Listen very carefully, beta. They were not against the existence of private property, but disliked concentration of property in the hands of a few. And many of them supported women's suffragette movements. Women's suffragettes movements means giving voting rights to the women's. Actually, in Europe, women were not allowed to getting the voting rights. And even in France, finally in 1946, women got the voting rights. Now, views of conservatives. Actually, conservatives was against radicals and liberals. Before the French Revolution, they were against any kind of change in the society. But after the French Revolution, they had opened their minds to the need for change. It means after the French Revolution, conservatives realized that some change in the society is necessary. By the 19th century, they realized that some changes were inevitable, but they were of the opinion that past should be respected. Past should be respected means the old institution, old culture, old tradition must be respected, and changes should be brought through slow process. Different views of liberals, radicals, and conservatives were sign of a new time. It was a time of social and economic changes. It was a time when new cities came up and new industrialized regions developed. Railways expanded and the industrial revolution occurred in England. Industrial revolution became the boon for the development of the country, but at the same time it also created many problems for the workers particularly. Industrialization brought men, women and children to factories, and work hours were often long and wages were poor. Unemployment was common, and particularly during times of low demand for industrial goods. And as you know, a place where factory is set up, so obviously the workers started to live in the surrounding of the factories. And after that, housing and sanitation were problems since towns were growing rapidly. Due to unemployment, the factory owners exploited the workers very much. Now, liberals and radicals search for solution to these issues. Now, what role played by liberals and radicals in solving the problems? Liberals and radicals believed that an economy could develop only if its workforce was healthy and citizens were educated. They believed in the value of individual effort, labor, and enterprise. They believed that societies could develop only if individuals were free and had access to employment, and if the businesses were free to develop. And to facilitate change, they formed groups and parties in the early 19th century and started to prepare a foreground for revolutions. In France, Italy, Germany, and Russia, they became revolutionaries and worked to overthrow the monarchy. They wanted to create nations where all citizens would have equal rights. And after 1815, Giuseppe Mazzini, an Italian nationalist, conspired with others to achieve this in Italy. Now, we will discuss the coming of socialism to Europe. So, first of all, a brief description about the socialism. Socialism is an economic and political system. It is an economic theory of social organization. It believes that the means of making wealth should be owned or controlled by the workers, not individuals. Socialists believe that everything in society is made by the cooperative efforts of the people and citizens. And socialists were against private property and saw it as the root to all social ills of the time. They believed that individuals owning properties and businesses were concerned only with personal gain and exploited their workers and paid no attention towards social welfare. According to socialists, if society as a whole controlled property, then more attention could be paid collective social interest. The socialists campaigned for this change. And the important persons that campaign about the socialism, obviously everyone know that Karl Marx is one of the most important person who campaigned for the socialism. But always remember, he was not a propounder of the socialism. Before Karl Marx, Robert Owen and Louis Blanc also campaigned for the socialism. And Robert Owen is considered as the father of the cooperative movement as well as father of English socialism. Actually, he belonged to England. Robert Owen believed in putting his workers in a good environment with access to education for themselves and their children. These ideas were put into effect successfully in the cotton mills of Scotland owned by Robert Owen. And after the successful experiment at Scotland, Robert Owen wanted to build a cooperative society called New Harmony in Indiana, United States of America. But unfortunately, this was failed. Other socialists felt that cooperatives could not be built on a wide scale only through individual initiatives. They demanded that governments encourage cooperatives. In France, for instance, Louis Blanc wanted the government to encourage cooperatives and replace capitalist enterprises. These cooperatives were to be associations of people who produce goods together and divided the profits according to the work done by the members. So one difference between the idea of cooperatives between Robert Owen and Louis Blanc, Robert Owen individually emphasized on the cooperatives, whereas Louis Blanc sought that government encourage the cooperatives. After Robert Owen and Louis Blanc, the notable figure was Karl Marx that campaigned for the socialism. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels added other ideas to this body of arguments and both wrote down Communist Manifesto. Karl Marx actually was a German philosopher, economist, historian, political theorist and socialist revolutionary. And the ideas of Karl Marx actually played a very most important role in the revolution of Russia. And his best known work are the Communist Manifesto and the Das Kapital. He said that workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. Karl Marx felt that capitalists earned profit which was produced by workers. The condition of the workers could not improve as long as this profit was concentrated in their hands. He was of the view that workers had to overthrow capitalism and the rule of private property. He also believed the workers would triumph in the conflict with the capitalists. According to him, a communist society was the natural society of the future. Now, support for socialism. By the 1870s, support for socialist ideas was spreading all over Europe. And first of all, in 1864, First International was formed, but it stopped in 1876. After that, Second International was formed to coordinate the efforts of the socialists. And the workers in England and Germany began forming associations to fight for better living and working conditions. They demanded a reduction of working hours and the right to vote. By 1905, socialists and trade unionists formed Labour Party in Britain and Socialist Party in France. In Germany, socialist associations worked closely with the Social Democratic Party and helped it win parliamentary seats. However, till 1914, socialists never succeeded in forming a government in Europe.